Good morning. It's Chris Sandeman here, back again, coming to you live from Hawaii, from the island of Oahu, from the state capital of this not huge state, 1.5 million-ish people, only around 850,000 or so people living on this island, most populous of them, and we've come to check out the sunrise, this famous sunrise over the Hilton Lagoon, looking up towards the Diamond Head, this old geological structure in the distance, and Waikiki Beach along the way. So I haven't live streamed in a while, and hopefully this will be working. Didn't do an update on the software. Hopefully I didn't need one. We'll see as it goes. So if you're out there, say hi. Let me know that I'm not alone talking to myself. And meanwhile, I'm just going to add some photos real quick. Boom, boom, boom. Photos. And that one. And that one. Right. Oh, hi, Jenny Jean, Purple Heart, and Shannon. Good morning, you ladies. Hope you guys are doing really well. I'm going to step out of the frame for a second so you can kind of see what they call the blue hour right now coming to us. Thanks, Shannon, to hear that. And good morning, Nikki. Hi. Hey, Michaela. Hi. And Alexa. Hi. Oh, guys, so good to see y'all. Yeah, I'm in Hawaii right now because I've been staying with my cousin, whose name is also Chris, and he is a sonar operator. Usually on a ship called the Michael Murphy here, which is stationed out of Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. But he has circled off the ship, and now he's an instructor teaching other young seamen in the U.S. Navy how to do sonar operations and shipboardings and things like that. So that's why I'm in Hawaii. Free place to stay. My buddy Mike Hernandez lent me a car. Can't argue with that. So it's all really good. Jenny Jean writes, I've spent some time on the Big Island in the past decade. I love Hawaii. I also have spent some time on the Big Island. Another good friend of mine, his older brother lives in Kona, which is on the dry side of the Big Island, and also home to the famous Kona coffee, which is oh so tasty. So, and Anna Maria, hi, good to see you. Thank you for being there. Mimosa Vici. Hi to Norway, and sorry for butchering that name. Try to make my best go at it, but yeah, Swedish and Norwegian or Norwegian, excuse me, and Swedish, as it happens to be, are tough for me. So thanks for being there, though. Yeah, Nikki Ross, I'm really sorry for being pretty quiet in the last chunk of time. Needed a bit of time off there, and here we are. All right, so look, enough about looking at my face. Let's turn the camera around real quick, so that way you guys can get the full version of watching from the other direction. Okay, which I think is just prettier. Just turn around. Meaning like the lens on this side of the camera is just gonna.
Sorry, you can't move your camera.
Oh, of course, my friend. Yeah, I didn't mean to be in your way.
No worries. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. You have a wonderful day.
You too. Take care.
Yeah, you too. All right. Just chilling over there, doing a little pre-sunrise cleaning up and sweeping around, and using this garbage can, which I've set my gimbal up on. It's good to have a little stable gimbal location. And we're gonna watch as the sun comes up, more or less in this frame right here that we're looking at. What you can see in the distance there, zoom in a little bit, it is raining suddenly just a little, so I'll try to keep us dry. Just a little morning sunshine. Jenny writes, yes, I was on the Kona side on a coffee farm. Oh, that's the best place to be. I had a cup of Kona Lisa coffee this morning. The Mona Lisa's coffee brand, her favorite coffee brand, the Kona Lisa, which was delicious. And Anna Maria, it is 5:57 here right now. We're looking at, let's check again what time sunrise officially is. I believe it is not until 6:20, 6:13. No, sorry, 6:25. 6:13 is sunset today. We're definitely going to catch sunset today. In fact, we'll catch a sunset, I bet. And 6:25 is when the sun rises. So official sunrise is not for another 27 minutes, and we're going to be here together as that happens. So right now, like I said, this is the 20 to 30 minutes zone before the sun rises. Also happens when the sun's about to set. It's this blue hour, which allows us to really see the sun as it approaches over the horizon. So, Nikki, the gimbal has been getting used a lot in Malta. Love it. I'm so happy about that. Let me see if I can come into this frame at the same time and not make it look ridiculous, but still show you guys. All right, I don't know if that works, but Nikki, I'm so happy about you guys using the gimbal and it working out well in Malta for you. I've seen some of the photos you sent through, and these gimbals are pretty amazing. They're really robust and pretty durable. You just have to make sure you don't fight the motor if it's trying to align itself, or it'll freak out on you over time. Get back out of this. Sweet Ling Chong, hi from Malaysia. It's almost midnight here. Aw, thanks for joining. I'm glad that even in the middle of the night, you're going to get a little bit of sunrise right now. And so what you see in the kind of foreground here on your left-hand side, it's one of the many hotels and resorts that kind of line this section of Honolulu and this part of Waikiki. Waikiki is a neighborhood in Honolulu. Honolulu is a city on Oahu. Oahu is an island which is the most populous, not the largest, but the most populous island in the Hawaiian island chain. We're going to be doing a proper full history tour of Honolulu later on today. Look, you can see my hands in the shadow here. We're going to be doing a full history tour of Honolulu later on today, just in a few hours, starting at 9 a.m., so in 3 hours from now, with a great guide named Peter Van Buren. And Peter Van Buren is even though he's a New Yorker himself originally, he's married to a Japanese Hawaiian family, multi-generational. They've been here for generations. And he's made Oahu his home, and he's he calls himself an amateur historian. He's way above that. He's a professional guide, and one of the best guides I've seen in a chunk of time. So be really looking forward to doing a partnered live stream with him and Hawaii Free Tours. Thank you to Victor, who's the co-owner and co-founder of that company, for helping set up the tour today, and really looking forward to, for those who are available later on, to catch a proper history tour of the area. So I'll let Peter go into that kind of historical aspect of it, but for us right now, as we watch the sunrise, it's worth just showing a little bit of the history, give you a feeling of the history here. This is a picture which is the history from a couple of days ago when I came and scoped out this space. So just a little foreshadowing. Credits to Chris Sandeman for this photo. to show you kind of like what is coming right now, where we are watching from, and then also to give you a feeling of it, how the light ends up playing in both directions. This is actually a picture taken shortly after sunrise, facing the opposite direction, away from the sunrise, and showing the reflection of the buildings catching the light also in this lagoon, which is here, set in from the ocean just a slight bit. I do not know that woman in the photo, but she was very conveniently positioned for me to take a picture of her, as her fiance was taking a picture from the other side of the lagoon. Oops. Let's get this person off. Hey Brenda, what's going on? Good to see you, and glad to, it's great to put us all together with Nikki and Ross at the same time. It's kind of incredible to think that Anna Maria is in Paris, Sweet Ling is in Malaysia, Brenda is watching from Scotland, Nikki and Ross are in Malta, and I'm here in Hawaii. Shannon's in Canada. You know, I'm assuming that Alexa is with Michaela in Germany right now. And it's always just so incredible that we can join together in one place at the same time, as we watch this sunrise come up here. So in front of me, like I said, is the lagoon, but then in the distance, you've got Diamond Head, and then you also have the ocean is over there. You can see that on the other side of this little lagoon, beyond those palm trees, you get the proper ocean. And after the sun kind of comes up and we can enjoy that a little bit, then my plan is for us to walk up along towards that, old volcano, not like they call it, the word's escaping me, the old core of the volcano, that stub, that butt there, and we'll head along past the beach, which is directly in front of us, known as Kahanomoku Beach, down to Waikiki Beach, first past Fort Durussi Beach, which is actually an area owned and maintained by the military, although open and free to the public. And then we'll end up down at close to Waikiki Beach. We'll do another Waikiki area walk later on, but for right now we're just we'll say hi to the sun, do a little bit of a walk down Waikiki Beach, and then we're gonna get ready and recharge everything for our tour with Hawaii Free Tours later on today, and with Peter. Shannon asks, can you swim in the lagoon? I haven't seen anyone swim in the lagoon, but there are fish in the lagoon, and we might see fish occasionally jumping up, going for a little bug, or being chased out of the water by a slightly larger fish. But there are tons and tons of fish in the ocean for sure, and that's very swimmable. Lagoon, swimmable. I haven't seen anyone actually in the water yet. So yeah, and there are lots of people out there surfing, and Maria points out I can see someone walking by with a surfboard. I'm going to come right back to that in just 1 second. And Johan reaches out and asks if we are looking for someone to run the Honolulu branch of Sandeman's New Europe. Winky face. Well, hopefully we'll end up partnering with the Hawaiian Free Tour guys, and they'll end up being the ones. Morning, guys. Hi there. They'll be the ones who will be, our partner here in Hawaii, and we can just promote them and their free tours, which I think is going to be the plan. And Maria, surfboards, it's a great point that you point out, because there are a lot of people out here surfing. And let me see if I can get this picture right, so that way it's both big enough that you guys can see it, but also, whoop. Yeah, come on, now the picture though. That's what I'm looking for. All right, well, you get the idea here. Okay, so, and hey Raymond, hi to Edinburgh. Aww, the whole Old Royd family is out. It's great. The picture I've just inserted there is just to show you this old, sport and pastime of wave sliding. as they would have called it in the old Hawaiian language, perhaps. But it's surfing, of course. And you can see there in the back that rock formation, Diamond Head rock formation. It's been there for a while, as this old black and white photo will show us here. All right, get out of the way of our beautiful sunrise. Brenda writes, my mom, Nikki's grandma, went swimming at Waikiki Beach. She was in her 60s then, many years ago. Shannon points out we've got the whole Scotland family here. Yes, we do, and we're lucky for it. We're stronger for the clan being part of our live stream right now. I'm trying to decide whether I like this. Hey, Diana. Good morning. Good morning. Diana, where are you right now? I've tangentially been following Facebook. And you're on a trip. Are you not? Now I'm like going to my Facebook really quick to see where you are. But tell us, Diana, down in the chat. Because you're on a journey as well, I believe. While we're doing that, I'm just getting a feeling of whether or not this looks nicer. A little bit more zoomed in, a bit more zoomed out. I think we start with zoomed in. Diana just got home. Diana, but remind me, where were you traveling to again? But I'm glad to hear that you're back in Long Beach, safe and sound. And, God, heart goes out to Long Beach and down into Orange County. If you guys haven't heard, there is a horrible oil spill taking place right now. I believe they think it was a big ship, like a big, maybe container ship's anchor that might have been dropped inappropriately, and it nicked a oil pipeline, which I believe connected to an offshore platform through to Long Beach, I believe. Yeah, oil spill is not good. Diana writes, I cruised to Alaska and had a weekend in Seattle. Oh, wonderful. Oh, God. Alaska's a place I've never been, dying to go at one point. Seattle's a place I have a bunch of friends and always love going there. Yeah, the oil spill is especially bad because it's seeped into a marshland preserve around Huntington Beach, which is in Orange County, like Newport Beach, Huntington Beach, Dana Beach, that kind of area. And it's this really important wetland, marshland reserve or preserve there, home to so many birds and so many bird species, and really tragically it's been affected, which is sort of a nightmare. I know that area a little bit because I have no idea if me stepping in the camera actually worked just then. Probably not. I can see I'm too zoomed in. But I worked down in that area on a political campaign for a bit for a guy named Harley Ruda, who had, in the time that I worked with that campaign, was ousting a guy by the name of Dana Rohrabacher from his seat there, long-held seat in Orange County. And I got to know that area, regardless of politics and all the rest of that. Just got to know that area really, really well, and really, it's a shame. It's an amazing stretch of beachland and a really important preserve. I jogged around that and through that preserve many times, and so I'm really sorry to hear about that. Well, you guys can't see it right now, but it is raining on top of us right now. But it's wonderful. It's paradise. So you can't argue with a little bit of rain in paradise. Oh yeah, and the bird. Let's see if we can get a little bit closer to that guy. And we'll actually just see what kind of bird that is. think he's just caught a fish. Did he just get a little fish out of the water there? I think he has a fish in his mouth. Diana is saying she lives pretty close to the preserve, yeah. Well, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm pretty sure my next car is going to be an electric car. Unfortunately, so much of the of our dependency on oil or usage of oil at this point isn't really about like oil for oh yeah, the sun is really kind of coming up here now. It's not about oil used for vehicles and for fuel. It's oil being used for plastics and the production of plastic products. Morning, guys. Oh, please, yeah. You're absolutely fine. Come on. Have a great day. Yeah, good, brother. Good. Oh, people are being so kind. They're being very careful not to just get in the way of our live stream right now. We've got a bunch of ducks approaching right now as well. Alexa, just to say hey, or quack quack. Alexa writes there's a little oyster catcher there too. Is oyster catcher a type of bird? Ah, neat. A little bit more. Diana writes, we rented a Prius while in Seattle and fell in love with it. Yeah, there you go. So Prius is a hybrid, right? It's going to have both gas and electric, and that seems to be like a great transition over. And talk about incredible fuel mileage. Whilst my brother and I were driving around in Scotland, we could not believe how efficient the vehicle was that we were driving. We, by the end of the trip, had maintained a 48.5 mile per gallon average on our fuel consumption. Almost 50 miles a gallon. This is unheard of. This is incredible. This is something that, you know, like American-based gasoline producing companies like have nightmares about. Cars getting 50 miles a gallon. But pretty incredible. Right, Shannon? What great colors. And yeah, Sweetling, it really is. The vibrant colors are coming. It's happening fast now. You know, only 15, 20 minutes after almost complete darkness, the beginning of the kind of blue period there, the blue hour. Now we've got the sun coming up over the horizon, and eventually it's just going to pop up kind of like right over and through here, just kind of whoop, come on up. And once it does, we'll start spinning around and looking at how the light is also bathing this area around us. So right, Shannon, yes I do, I mean that I was driving. Diana writes, yeah, we used 1 gallon to go 1.5 hours. Oh my goodness. A gallon for an hour and a half of driving. That's just so incredible. Yeah, I'm really glad to be able to share the sunrise with you guys. It really is beautiful. I've been making a point of seeing a sunrise and a sunset almost every day. And the amazing thing is that it's just a question of driving to on one side or another side of the island, because you've got within a 40-minute drive, sunrise and sunset, looking out over the water both times, to the east, the west, and the south. So, and it's exciting times here in Hawaii because it is almost time for the whales to return. In fact, they had their first whale sighting, their first whale spotting, just happened recently. The humpback whales, which Diana was just talking about Alaska. Well, that's usually kind of the direction that those whales are in. But they make the big journey all the way to the warmer waters of Hawaii as part of their annual, birthing. do they mate here too? No, I think they mate in Alaska. They birth here. I'm not a whale expert, I'll be honest with you, and they haven't shown up yet, but they will be coming. And like I said, the first one has been seen. Helicopter training pilot is flying out, and him and his students saw something. They thought maybe it was some sort of shark action, but no, it was a whale. So hi, morning, how's it? And so the whales are coming back. Yeah, I think it's cool, Nikki. We're trading the sun right now. You guys are getting the sunset and we're getting the sunrise as ultimately the planet spins, right? That's the incredible thing, is the sun is actually kind of, well, relative to us, it's staying in the same place. It is moving throughout the larger galaxy and universe, but as the center of our solar system, you know, we're moving along with it as it moves, and moving around it and spinning along, and sunrise, sunset. So for everyone that thinks the earth is flat out there, for all them flat earthers, right, it would be possible that the sun would be setting for Nikki and Ross and rising for us here. You can't make that happen if the planet's flat, right? Because it would just be like on, off, kind of spin to the other side, and then no more sun. So it's round. Get a vaccine. Okay, so back to the sunrise, and now really the light's coming through, and we've lost a lot of our oranges and reds and such, because, you know, where are they going? Our oranges and reds are starting to spread over in other directions, over in this direction, right? And then like behind us, where in other parts of the island the sun is actually kind of coming up right now. So let's see if we just have a quick spinny spin. Now the sun's kind of up, we've got a little bit of cloud cover. We're going to still get tons of great light, but why don't I quickly just zip up this bag a little. Well, let's walk a little bit for a second. Shannon has an excellent point and contribution. If the Earth was indeed flat, cats would have already knocked everything off of the planet and onto the floor of the universe. So let's see. Oh, we're gonna get a closer look at this bird here. A little bit of wind picking up here by the water. Alexa, I don't know if you can see this guy better now. Whoop. Oh yeah, he's totally got a fish in his mouth. He is this is his barrel, and he is, because these fish are I don't think they stand much of a chance. Fishing with a scuba tank on his back. That's his buddy. Green heron, maybe, Alexa writes. Shannon writes we might be having a little bit of lag and delay. I went with ultra low latency today, Shannon, so that way there'd be as little delay as possible in text messages. But hopefully that won't mess up our stream too much. And Lucio, good morning. Thanks for joining. Yeah, it is beautiful, right? It's really pretty here. Hawaii is it's a paradise. It's a paradise. It's pretty clear to me why it's so desirable. It's a really interesting state. Besides the fact that it's on a bunch of different islands, it's also that it's the newest state in the United States. It's also a real melting pot of people, especially Asian cultures and influences, with a large Filipino population, Japanese population, Chinese population. In fact, the oldest Chinatown in the United States, Honolulu. It's here in Hawaii, on the island of Oahu that we're on right now, and predates the one in San Francisco, because as we'll learn from Peter later on today on his tour, Hawaii was originally colonized by Westerners, mainlanders, whiteys, so to say, to make sugar plantations, to raise sugar cane, because it was much easier to grow sugar cane here and supply the west coast of the growing, burgeoning 1800s US than it was to import it all the way from the Caribbean. And in the Caribbean, the people that were kind of harvesting the sugar cane traditionally had been enslaved people from Africa. But here, they end up using predominantly Chinese indentured servants to bring in the sugar cane. So, and Alexa writes, I've heard that Japanese people love Hawaii. It's true, they do. And they live here. Both Japanese people, but Japanese Americans, a mix of multi-generational. So, but of course, the Hawaiian people predate all of them. Those Polynesians who made their way to these islands using the stars at night and the sun, and navigated across like really, I think, thousands of miles of ocean. And we'll learn more about that from Peter later on. So we've got a surfer heading out here. Hi, Colleen. Good to see you, cousin. Colleen herself is coming to Hawaii very soon and is looking forward to watching some sunsets. Colleen, join me on a sunset later on today on the western part of Hawaii, known as Ko'olina. Unfortunately, it will be really late for you because it's 6 hours later in New York than it is in Hawaii. So you can watch it later on, but you should definitely go to Ko'olina and check out the sunset there for yourself while you're in Hawaii. Ko'olina is just west of Kapolei. Not Kapolei, it's Ka, Aspire, Kapolei. I've been working on my Hawaiian pronunciations. So, looks like there's going to be some decent waves out there. Oh, Jeanette! Good morning, Vancouver. Good to see ya. Yeah, sorry I've been persona no presento for a while. It needed a break. There was too much emotion tied up inside of live streaming there, and I needed a break for a second. There's more surfers out there, but we can't see them so well. I do want to kind of like walk by these local folks, but I keep trying to not seem like a visitor. I'd rather feel and seem a little bit like I know what I'm talking about. So I've been learning some of the tricks. For one, if you want to look like from here, don't stand around with a camera and a gimbal. It's a giveaway. The second one is, instead of saying, how's it going? you simply say, how's it? How's it? It's like a kind of pidgin English almost. And how's it is a good way to blend in. Love poke. Also super important to not standing out in the crowd. Drive beat up car. And once again, thank you to my friend Mike for lending me his GMC Yukon. It is the car that is getting us around the island today and every day. So thank you, Mike, for that. I have to say, apropos our previous conversation, the GMC Yukon is not a car that gets great gas mileage. It gets pretty bad gas mileage. Okay, let's walk out on the quay for a second. Yeah, and then we're gonna go and walk down towards Fort Waikiki Beach and Park. Over here. Morning. Hey there. Hey, morning. Morning. So lots of people in the water this morning. Let's get our focus on. Okay, we're just trying to get a focal point for me here. I think we're there. Oh, that person's up. And they're down. Shannon asks, any pretty seashells on the beach? No. You know what? This sounds kind of crazy, but I don't think I've seen any seashells really yet. What you see a lot of is, it's this kind of rock. You see like lots of volcanic rock and coral, but I haven't seen a lot of great seashelling. I've seen lots of people getting their gram on. Here's a little gram team. Look that way. It'll look better on your gram post. Yeah, we know what's happening. We all know it. We've all been guilty of it. All right. What do you guys say? Should we walk down a little bit as we watch the sun come up and head down towards Fort Waikiki, Waikiki Beach? It's 6:30 now, which means that we've been going for like 30 minutes since 6 o'clock, but 40 minutes since actual start time. Yeah, why don't we walk down this way a bit. Now, if you're a surfer and you know how to surf, let me know. All right, I haven't tried it yet. I thought about taking a lesson. It was too expensive. Went on Thumbtack trying to find someone that might teach me how to surf. Didn't happen. Did find someone who was willing to teach me how to golf for like affordable. But, you know, you can golf in lots of places. There's not too many places you can surf. And as surfing was invented here, it seems like a good place to do it. So if you surf, if you think it's worth me trying. 6'5", I'm a big guy, 215 pounds. I do feel like it might be tough for me to get up on the board, but morning. Hi there. See, I said hey there. I should have said how's it. Give myself away. As we're walking this direction, just to give you a feeling once again of what this all might have looked like back in the day. And Maria writes, you can surf in Portugal, Ireland, and Australia. It's true. It's true. In fact, Portugal is where they've got that massive, gigantic wave, right? That like humongous killer wave. They actually teach you here. When I was looking for courses, one of the courses I saw was a training course on how to not drown while you are surfing. One more of these here. Put this one up too, just to give you a feeling of the overview of where we are walking right now. So yeah, so we're on the bottom right kind of edge of this photo, more in that as the bay kind of curves around over here. But once again, old black and white photo, give you a sense of that. Oh, Tofino, BC. Tofino, BC writes, Jeanette, is also, I guess, a place to learn or a place to surf. That's, if I'm not mistaken, that's like way up on Vancouver Island, right, Jeanette? It's supposed to be really beautiful, if I remember. When I was in Victoria at one point, they were like, well, you know, you can get up there. You take a short flight, puddle jumper, and you're there. You guys hear these waves? It's so nice. Hey, Eric. What's up, island brother? So Eric's over on Maui, which is a island very close to Oahu, and part of the Hawaiian island chain. So I don't know if I'm going to get over to Maui on this trip, Eric, or else I'd make you jump on a live stream with me, a la Nikki and Ross. And Jeanette writes, yeah, exactly, that's Tofino. It is. Super long beaches, remote, moody and misty. Oh, I love it. Brenda writes, many other beaches in the UK too where surfing is done, like the island of Tiri. Yeah, you know, one of Johan, Alexa, my colleagues, a guy by the name of Andreas Pfeiffer, he does a lot of surfing down in the English Channel in Brighton. Amazingly, you've got some surfing there. The water, unfortunately, probably not as nice as this Hawaiian warm water here. Humpback whales not heading to Brighton, and there's a reason why. Now, I'm sure it's not the water temperature, but yeah. Whoop. I just got my feet wet. Well, at that point, you might as well just take off the flip-flops. Got my flop tan full in effect, but wet feet, no good. To walk in flip-flops, might as well head out this way. Now there's actually pretty cool, from this little tiny pier that you have here, there's a submarine, like a kind of a glass bottom, glass windowed submarine that heads out, does some exploration. Neat idea. I've given bike tours, I've given bus tours. My favorite is to give walking tours. I've never given a submarine tour, and that seems like a new adventure. Morning. Brenda asks, is that suntan or dirty feet? Brenda, it's suntan. You can't wash off that brown. That's my natural skin color. Yeah, sorry. Don't mean to make anyone jealous. Thank you for the flip-flop tan comments, and yes, Jeanette writes, you need to do season 3 of the world's most amazing vacation rentals, or the world's most comfortable sofas of friends and family. We're here in Hawaii, then I'll be up in Canada, sleeping on sofas, just doing the trip. Yeah, it's really pretty. Nikki and Ross and I, while we were in Edinburgh enjoying a pint and a bite, we talked about a new channel, Sandeman Says, where we go to different hotels and bed and breakfasts and kind of just give you a tour of that hotel or bed and breakfast. And then, before you book, you get the inside track, and you actually have looked at the pool and the gym and the breakfast room and all the rest of it. So hold on, Sandeman Says maybe come in the future. Let's just do a quick 360 here. Now that the sun is kind of coming up, we can see hotels, but also some of these are going to be residences. Those towers towards the back. This area is a pretty expensive part of Oahu to live in, Waikiki, this neighborhood. This neighborhood here in Honolulu. But looking at the rental apps like Hot Pads and such, you can get an apartment, studio apartment, for as little as $1,500 a month, going up to as much as $4,000 a month for a 1.5, 2 bedroom. So there's a big range there. The prices are not that dissimilar to New York, Manhattan prices. And Maria writes, are the hotels open now? They are, yes. There's a couple of hoops you have to jump through in order to become a visitor to Hawaii right now. But if you're vaccinated, it's much easier for you to be able to come. If you're not vaccinated, then your PCR testing, or maybe even forbidden still. Someone might jump in if you know. But they do take it pretty seriously, the whole process, and you get a QR code, and when you arrive, unlike other airports that I've arrived into, when I arrived into Honolulu Airport, they absolutely did check my QR code and scanned it in, and actually, in fact, it was checked by several people, much more than even flying back to New York from Edinburgh via Amsterdam. There was no one checking, even though it was an international flight arrival. Flying from Los Angeles to Honolulu, I was triple checked upon arriving in Hawaii. So they're definitely taking it pretty seriously. Oh yeah, sorry Shannon, I blew by the water slides, and I also ignored your question, do they scrape the beaches? And I think they must, yeah, per your question, because it looks like I can see striations in here. It also rains pretty frequently, but yeah, those look like beach scraping right in there. And yeah, water slides, it's true, as per one of the resorts here. So, well, if we're thinking about what time it is now, we're looking at like 6:40 in the morning, and it's busy. There are lots of people up and about. People are awake. Stand-up paddle boards, and then you got some surfboards over there. These are all rentals. So if you do come to Hawaii and you are a surfer, then good news, you don't have to bring your board if you don't want to, although many people do. You can always rent one here though. And if you need a GMC Yukon to help you move it around, just let me know. I know a guy. So this park is already Fort de Russie Park, open to the public, but I believe it's already that. But maintained by the military. Let me just double check, make sure I'm already there. Yeah, looks like it. Exactly. That's this park here. I came through and did a quick walkthrough in the dark, and it's true what they say. During the daylight hours and nighttime hours, things look a little different. So for those of you who missed it earlier on, we have a second and likely a third live stream today. Second live stream is going to be at 9 p.m., about 2 hours and 20 minutes, 9 a.m., 2 hours and 20 minutes from now, wherever you are, 9 a.m. here local time, where Peter Van Buren of Hawaii Free Tours is going to be giving us, 45 to 60 minute historical tour of Honolulu, which is going to focus on kind of the origins of time up into modern day, but actually really focusing in on a period of time from when the Hawaiian monarchy finally unites the Hawaiian Islands, and you have a king of Hawaii through till tracking that period of time and transition to modern statehood. And whilst that's the focus, of course, we'll talk about a lot of cultural stuff. I went on his tour the other day. It was excellent, and why I'm proud to be able to show it to you guys later on today, having already done it and experienced it. This guy looks like he's searching for precious metals. Doing a little metal searching. Jeanette writes, I've always wanted to visit Hawaii, but I need my third booster before I can go to the States. What did you get again, Jeanette? Were you a Moderna or a Pfizer lady? They have AstraZeneca up in Canada. I'm not sure. I was talking to someone at a happy hour who had AstraZeneca and was talking about how they were kind of sneaking in and out of places because AstraZeneca is not officially approved in the US, and yet generally they've been using that as the thing that they, as their vaccine justification. You are not good. Oh, AZ then Moderna, writes Jeanette. You're not allowed into a restaurant here in Honolulu unless you have been vaccinated. So, although maybe you could PCR test your way into a restaurant. You can, yes you can. You can PCR test your way into a restaurant, but you're not allowed to go into a restaurant, even wearing a mask, unless you PCR test your way in to prove that you're not sick, or you are double vaccinated and you have your picture or your original vaccine card and an ID with you. You can see why these people are out here. Lots of early risers. It's one of the things I really love about Hawaii is that you can get breakfast at not just one place, but many places, starting at 6 a.m. And for early risers, for morning birds, it's great to be able to have a place that you can get up early and eat. The flip side is though that things tend to close by 9 p.m. So by 9 p.m. a lot of the restaurants are closed and no longer serving you food. But early to bed, early to rise, right? Okay, So Jeanette writes in Vancouver, same thing. You have to show vaccine cards on your phones to go into restaurants. Shannon says Ontario the same. Paris as well. Very cool. How about where you are watching from right now? If you're watching not from Paris, Ontario, or Vancouver, are you allowed to go into a restaurant right now without either showing a negative PCR test or showing your vaccination card? Are they letting unvaccinated people into restaurants as long as they're wearing masks and social distancing where you live right now? Or has your local government or national government said, nope, you gotta have the vaccine, or you do not get to go out to restaurants? Alexa writes, Germany is the same now. So Germany also either show a PCR test or be vaccinated or stay home and watch YouTube. Not live streams though, watch your conspiracy YouTube about magnetic microchips. Patty writes, well, down here in Argentina, you don't have to show anything. You just have to have your mask on. And Patty, I'd ask, how are we doing as far as vaccination access? If you want to get vaccinated in Argentina at this point, can anyone that wants to, or is it still wait lists and limited to age groups or those who are in high risk groups? Let me know. I'd be fascinated to know what's going on down in Argentina. And my heart goes out to Gabo Candal, who gave us a couple of tours of Buenos Aires. I hope that Patty, Gabo, and everyone else in Argentina is doing okay right now. Woo! Oh my gosh. That wave just whacked me. Diana writes, I believe Long Beach and LA start this weekend. I think I might have reached the end of my beach. Can you go any further this way? I'm going to find out really soon. Either I'll be back or... Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm in like proper water now. Whoop. All right. Oh my God, that's my shorts wet now. Sorry about that. The little bit of natural erosion going on. Hey, good morning. A little erosion there. Patty writes, there are vaccines, just not ones approved by other countries. And that we're doing okay down in Argentina. Cases have decreased as we're heading into the summer. That's good. Getting outside will be important. Brenda recommends I just swim. No, get the gimbal and the phone. But fair enough. Lorraine writes, in upstate New York, no proof of vaccination needed, no mask to say you're vaccinated. And yes, Shannon, I'll be careful. Hey guys, good morning. Right. Sorry for being in your way.
No worries.
Have a good one. Woo. Todd. Good morning, Todd. From Secret History Tours in Mobile, Alabama. Mobile, the smaller, safer, cleaner, and quite honestly, nicer version of New Orleans. So if you're thinking about going to New Orleans, why don't you think about going to Mobile, Alabama instead? Seriously. Oh, don't go away, Mr. Crab. No. You must show the live stream that you are here, Crab. Oop. And the water, it's actually really warm. It's not going to be as warm as the Gulf for sure, right? But the water is really warm. Full-on rainstorm going through me right now. But it's just like hard to complain while you're in paradise. You could be stuck in traffic here. Don't honk. Why would you honk? It's paradise. Gianna Carlock writes, in South Carolina, we say, what COVID-19? There are no mask regulations here, although a shop can make their own rules. In fact, there was a law created just a little bit ago that made it illegal for public places, including schools in South Carolina, to have mask mandates. However, all vaccines, PCR tests, and rapid tests are free if you have health insurance. Well, at least people that want to get checked can do so in South Carolina, it sounds like. But the Palmetto State is not doing the same sort of nudging that other states and countries are doing to help convince people to go get vaccinated by, for instance, banning them from public places unless they do. So, wow, this is just like, this beach has kind of formed here, it seems. I'm gonna go around this way because it's like I'm in a trench. I'm in a beach trench over here. This little hotel space over here though. Beautiful pool. We gotta save the hotel for Sandeman Says though. I gotta get Nikki and Ross over here so we can do the inaugural episode. In fact, that's kind of a cool idea. Wherever we all live, we could all do our own kind of live streams of our local hotels and such. Shannon, this does seem like it is both a man-made beach, but also I bet that this is sand that has been dumped someplace else, and then through just this like motion of the ocean has moved the sand, because like this sand is like, this isn't supposed to be here, you know, it's supposed to be a rock wall, but the sand's just kind of ended up on here. Again, probably because it's been dumped in one place and kind of migrated along to this space. Yeah. Morning. Yeah, it's tough. That gentleman or woman there was asleep. Well, not asleep, but that's where they sleep or slept last night. Fair bit of homelessness, but also pretty, feels pretty, I don't know, survivable often, because it's not, never gets cold. When I was coming to Hawaii, I reached out to my cousin and asked him, you know, what I should make sure that I wear, what I should bring with me, clothing wise. And he was like, well, you know, you want to bring a coat or you know, a sweater for the evenings because it gets cold. And I said, well, how cold does it get? You know, I'll bring a sweater, no problem. He's like, well, it gets down into like the high 70s, low 80s. So, you know, be prepared. I've kind of reached the end of my options. Turn around rather than cutting through this hotel. Well, the tides have demanded that we turn around because one thing they don't love is me live streaming into their hotel. Let's just swing back this way. And start to wrap up. Nikki wrote, Ross was thinking of doing a hotel tour with a gimbal. Sandeman Says, yes, exactly. It's got to happen. I think it's a great idea. Why don't you just do one, walk around, give a review, and then just do it as a video, and then we can live stream it later on I can upload it and stream it on a live stream later on. No, not bad. That situation. And Todd writes, in Mobile, in Dauphine Island, has been severed in two by storm action. It was rebuilt using large stones and sand. Wow, another victim perhaps of intensity storms related to just more powerful weather patterns from warming oceans, warming air, allowing those storms to just take on so much more water and power, linked to climate change. So Brenda writes, is the sea tidal here? And the answer is yeah. It actually, even though your presumption makes sense, and I get the logic that you put out there, but yeah, no, it really is tidal. The oceans are tidal everywhere. So somewhere it's high tide and somewhere it's low tide. Eric writes, Mysteries of Hawaii with Lapoka Kapanui. Check it out. I will do, Eric. I will do. I've got a couple of live streams coming up, besides the one later on, in 2 hours from now that we have a proper history tour, to give us a grounding for the next live streams that we have coming up in Hawaii. Later on this evening, at around 6 p.m. local time here, which unfortunately will be like 6 a.m. in Europe, 5 a.m. UK, midnight the east coast of the US, 9 p.m. on the west coast of Canada and the US. We'll do a live stream from Ko'olina, which is a pretty beautiful place to watch the sunset. And then tomorrow, we'll do another sunrise live stream from a pillbox hike, an old military kind of fortification bastion on the east side of Hawaii. Whoop. Oh, not my favorite spot here again, coming through. So the east side of Hawaii, that pillbox live stream from up by Kailua. Hey, got another one coming up tomorrow as well. We're gonna go to the Dole Plantation, where all those pineapples and bananas come from. Let's see if I can pull this off without killing myself. All right. Whoop. Yeah, Brenda, I think this is high tide as well. Brenda writes, I presume this must be high tide, and it definitely feels that way. I think that those two people who were kind of sleeping rough out there were asking me if I wanted something. You can't get by, but it's tricky. Okay, it's tricky though, I wouldn't go that way. Yeah, and speaking towards ghost tours in a little bit, Eric and Shannon, I did a hike, which I want to also share with you guys, of the northwest corner. So after we do the Dole Plantation, which is going to be tomorrow after the pillbox hike, on Sunday I'm going to take you guys to Kaina Point State Park. And Kaina Point, pretty phenomenal, fantastic place. It's the dry side of the island, but it's also where, according to local legend, was where your spirit would kind of like pass on to, meet up with your ancestors, the afterlife and such, and it was like the passing on point. So it was up there in that northwest corner of Oahu that after you would die, you know, your body, I guess, would go, or to then help that transition. Anyway, it's a kind of a mystical space, but Mysteries of Hawaii with Lopaka Kapanui. Definitely gonna check it out, Eric. Eric, anything else that you think from your experiences having visited Oahu and specifically Honolulu that you would say are must-sees for us? Good morning. Things that we should definitely check out, please don't hesitate to say, because I'm grateful for it. All right, well, we've got our hour and 10 minutes in there, and I'm heading back the way that we came. Walked along a good chunk of Waikiki and Waikiki Beach, caught a little bit of the sunrise, and I don't want to take up all your morning or your afternoon or your evening, because I'm hoping you're going to come back and, as a great group of folks that we are, lend some support to Peter and the Hawaii Free Tour guys. And if you don't catch this as a live stream and you're watching as a video, thank you as well for watching, especially for getting all the way towards the end. If you haven't done so already, take a moment to give us a thumbs up, whether you're on YouTube or you're on Facebook. It just helps let people know about the videos, especially when I only post them last minute. And if you are watching YouTube, make sure you subscribe and turn on that bell notification. So, well, one last quick look around. As Brenda recommends, I will enjoy a little bit of the stroll along the beach still, and maybe a wee paddle in the sea. It's a pleasure. Pleasure, guys, always. Good to see everyone again. Glad you guys are out there, and I'm sorry for being quiet for so long. You're not gonna, after a few days, that I would stop talking about Hawaii, this magical place, making you jealous of this trip. It really is paradise. The mangoes, cheap and delicious. Morning, hi there. The little kid was waving. Cutie. Hey, Jim. Aloha. Mahalo, amigo. Michelle writes, looking forward to tomorrow's tour. Love pineapples. Yep, you'll see. We'll check out the Dole Garden and the Dole Plantation a little bit. Let's see if I have any pictures of it on my phone already. No, not loaded yet. And I'll also get a Dole Whip, famous soft serve Dole pineapple ice cream. So that's going to be really tasty. Yeah, Nikki, good to see you as well. Shannon asks, are you going to be walking along with the tour later with Peter? Yes, exactly. I'm going to be the camera person for Peter on his tour. So it'll be Peter and me teamed up. It's his first time doing a live stream. Actually, it's his first time doing a virtual tour in general. So we'll see how it goes. I'm sure it's great. He's such a pro. So like, he'll kick some butt. Patty says, have a good day, enjoy. Thanks for sharing the beautiful place with us. Indeed, yes, thank you. Thanks for being there. And now the sun's finally behind us.
My brother's phone.
And there it is. It's like the last good part of the sunrise, I feel. It's when the sun's like actually there. And the best part is sort of as it goes from dark to light, but then suddenly there's the sun. You're very welcome, Diana. Good to see you. Thanks for being there. I agree, Jeanette. It is so beautiful, and it just makes it so easy with the new iPhones. Still the iPhone 12, but just really allowing you to capture it all, bring it all in. Love how busy it is here. So many people up and about. All my like fellow morning people out there surfing and jogging and ultimately taking in this just absolute beauty. All right, well, that's all for now. See you guys in a little bit. From the old Royal District, Royal Palace. We're going to see the State Capitol building. We're going to see a bunch of statues from kings and queens of the old Hawaiian monarchy, and all of that coming up in just about 2 hours. So it's not goodbye, it's just see you soon. Until then, ciao for now from Waikiki and Waikiki Beach in Honolulu on the island of Oahu in the island chain and state of Hawaii. Aloha, mahalo, and see you guys really soon.